Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about all of the reveals from New York Comic Con 2022. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, even when I'm late because I'm watching my Padres, is my good friend John. John, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. That's a perfectly legitimate reason to be late. This is extraordinary for you.
Everyone's like, just postpone. So I was like, no, honestly, it might be better if I'm doing this stream and I'm not stressed out because I wear my fandom of the Padres to a level that's not healthy or reasonable. I've been a ball of nerves all day. I was just wishing they would win yesterday so I could have a nice peaceful Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, that's not the case. But they're winning currently, and I'll just let it be and be here with you all and try to get some zen.
What is it? It's the 7th right now. 7th. They're up 4. You got some insurance.
Musgrove is dealing, but the reason we're actually late, like I had everything kind of prepped ready to go, but Buck Showalter wanted to check Musgrove for sticky stuff. This is not sports talk, all right? This isn't toy anxiety. So I need to leave it be. Let's say hello to the chat. We got a lot of people here. It's hopping. A lot of toy news. So this will be good to talk through. Map Room Gaming, Jamie Vaughn, 8-Bit Oz, Brick Something, Andy Silva, Jay and John are so hot. Toy Daddies, please kiss. They switched it back and forth during the week. So kudos to you on a fun title, but I feel you'll be disappointed. Josh Ruth, Wings or Lose, Comics, Hung When, Throwback, Turtle Cobweb. Mike Giorlico is here. Let's see, Rob, Studio Henge, Mythic Dolphin, J Fu, Brian Bink, T Glow. I think I did Throwback, I'll do it again. Brick Something, Lee Shinovo, Caveman Reviews, J Solo Arts, Adam Nightmare, Andy Silva, Sean Daly, Dorky Hippie 81. I love that name. Dorky Hippie. Flash is here. Smedberg is here. Jonathan Nichols and Thanos Copter and so many more. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. John, a lot of toy. I kind of more out of NYCC than I expected, to be completely honest. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think. I mean, with PulseCon, San Diego not that far in our rear view. I mean, and Mattel just announcements every week. I really wasn't expecting much of anything.
Yep.
And especially with NECA doing their 31 days of Halloween reveals. Yep. So I feel like, yeah, there was quite a bit more than I was expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. I will kind of co-sign here. Corn Viper, McFarlane stole the show. If you missed it, definitely check it after this stream. But was it Thursday or Friday? I've lost track of time.
That's Thursday.
Was it Thursday? Okay. Oh no, I don't have it here. I took off that thumbnail. But we hung out with Ryan Dole and we talked about, I think, just about all of the McFarlane reveals because those just dropped, or most of them dropped on Thursday. But yeah. McFarlane brought the heat for sure because he was kind of non-existent at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So it was the McFarlane 89 Batwing, that bit of news dropped as well. So yeah, for sure. And I like this read here from Comics. McFarlane steals the show while Super 7 tries to steal our money. John, before we start on Super 7, because I think that's a fair call out here. Mm-hmm. Light goals. Okay, we had Dan Larson with us last week from Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy. Toy tuber royalty, if you will. I mean, honestly, we had a star-studded cast all weekend. Everybody was great. But we had Dan Larson on Sunday, as well as Toy Shiz. And I thought for sure we would hit our light goal. But we didn't. We didn't hit the light goal. I put up 2 Grizzlors. And alas, we didn't hit any. So tonight for our patrons, don't worry, we will actually raffle off that Grizzler. We're gonna raffle off last week. So if you want to become a patron, patreon.com/geekdadlife, every single patron will be entered in to win this Grizzler tonight. But since we didn't hit the like goal, no Grizzler up for just our regular giveaway tonight, John. But I thought I would up the ante a little bit.
Oh,
okay. At 300 likes, if we get 300 likes tonight, I will give away this 40th anniversary He-Man.
Nice.
It's a nice figure. Friend of the channel, Toy Shiz, who was here last week, said it's the end-all, be-all He-Man of all time. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but it's a very, very nice He-Man figure. I haven't opened this one up yet, but I have opened up the Comic-Con exclusive set.
Mm-hmm.
So if we hit 400 likes, Matt Bush sent this bad boy in. So if we hit 400, I will give away the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 40th anniversary He-Man set, courtesy of Matt Bush.
So 300 likes is the basic 40.
300 likes, we will raffle off this bad boy, 40th anniversary He-Man.
400 likes.
Fohundo. We that was the target we set last week. Just came up just short. But if we hit it this week, we will unlock the 40th anniversary San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with flocked crotches and metallic goods Comic-Con set. So hit that like button, everybody. 400 unlocks that. We hit 300. We also, I think it's a good tiered giveaway tonight, John. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah. That is fire right there.
I felt like I had to bring, apparently 2 Grizzlers wasn't enough fire, so I had to bring more fire tonight. There you go. Hit that like button, y'all.
Thanks to Matt Bush. Wow.
Yes. All of the thanks to Matt Bush, who sent that in. And I was like, are you okay if I give it away? Because I have one. John, did you order one too?
I did.
Well, so I feel like we both have one. So let's give it away to a viewer if we hit 400 likes. Flock it real good. What were you laughing at?
Whoever it is that has the crazy name.
Oh,
I can't see it now.
69 likes in chat. Oh, stop it. Stop fan fictioning this. Come on now. Better tiers than the Star Wars team. You best believe it. So hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. And if we hit 400, we will give that bad boy away. Okay, John. Super 7. That a toy company that is infuriating. And maybe that's too extreme to say, but when they are on their game, they make some of the most awesome, like you gotta have it, or even it's so expensive, like that god dang Pinocchio. I'm like, at some point I'm going to burn $300 and get it because that's how amazing it is, and hopefully I get it at retail price or it's still around or whatever. But when they miss at a level that is infuriating. And I'm doing all of this preamble to say that they finally showed their Silverhawks. And I think I may pull up Rob D? His pictures I thought were pretty solid. Rob D Toys on Instagram. Be sure to give him a follow, because this Quicksilver figure is trash. John, what's your thoughts?
Yes. I mean, we right out of the gate when the Quicksilver figure was shown, and we immediately saw no chrome silver vac metal, and there was immediate backlash because that's not Silverhawks. And then, they explained, well, we're doing the cartoon look. All of the Silverhawks are going to be more cartoon style. So even the figures that don't look anything like their vintage counterparts, regardless of the paint or whatever, are going to look like the cartoon.
Yep.
How is it this looks so much worse? And just from the prototype, I mean, I'm sorry, Super 7, but you went so far backwards, like from showing us like the Paint Master prototypes.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, all right, well, okay, maybe if people are interested in the cartoon look, but still, it's pretty far off.
Yep.
How does this look worse?
It's the face sculpt for me. And again, we have mutual friends that were there, and they said the in person it looks a little bit more silver. It looks so much better. Like I feel better about the purchase.
The face is lost in that head. Where like it almost looks like there's no parting line between the helmet portion and where the face starts. It's just it goes from one to the other. It's almost like there's no detail line or a parting line. And it's very one color, one skin tone color. Like no shading, no cheek and like, like no pink in the cheeks. It's not nice. Sorry, Super 7, but you have really went backwards on this figure.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. And what's funny is, I mean, maybe I'm just doing a bad job searching. I'm doing this all live here. But when you look at the renders, which I couldn't find on super7.com, but I was able to find it on Entertainment Earth, it is a night and day difference. So let me pull these two shots up here. Let's look at what we saw at New York Comic Con and then see what it looks like next to the renders. It is night and day. It's not even close. So here is what we saw at Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con.
This is production.
This is production. And then let's look at what the renders showed us. One of these things is not like the other, John, and it is bad.
We got they're releasing the knockoff version. Like this is what happens to, you remember like all the knockoff Power Rangers in the 90s that showed up in dollar stores carded, and you have one right there. This is it.
This one's cool and something different.
This is the Silverhawks equivalent.
And the thing is, they're charging $55 a piece on these. And we questioned, why don't you have Silverhawks at San Diego Comic-Con? Maybe this is why, because they know this does not pass the smell test.
Yep.
And
exact Instagram versus reality. Yes. Exactly.
Boom, baby. 100%. 100%. Wish app version. And so Jimmy calls out, it's odd because Fusion and Stardom Prime did some great videos showcasing a recent physical version. They seem to look great. And that may very well be the case. But if that's true, why do they put this on display at New York Comic Con? Because this looks awful. Now, again, if this was a $20 figure, you'd be like, okay, cool. But this is $55, and this is what you sold people.
And that looks pretty good for what was promised. A cartoon version, Ultimates, Silverhawks, Quicksilver. Not bad. $55 still hurts. But then they put the, bootleg in the case.
Yeah. Mad Hatter, this company, God. And again, it's just like when they have proven they can make incredible figures. When they had the MOTU license, when they were doing classics, some of the best classics figures ever. When they're on their money with TMNT Ultimates, some of the best, I mean, just perfect, like some of the best figures you've ever had in your hands. But and we've talked about this before. Do they have too many things they're trying to do at once? And there's just too many things, too many lines, too many pre-orders, and it's hard to keep track of all of that. Because if this, and again, who knows what we'll actually get once it finally delivers. But you're showcasing this at a con with thousands of people. This is a miss.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to see the mouth on that guy.
Yeah, it's a glob of paint.
Mm-hmm.
It's a glob of paint. And, and you talk about knockoffs, and you may consider these knockoffs, but Ramen Toys, their Silverhawks Quicksilver is a little bit different. Oh, wait, no, hold on. This is the wrong where I'm at. Hold on. Let me pull it up here because this gentleman, Rob D. Toys, has gotten that one. Look at that for Ramen Toys.
An actual silver Quicksilver. And it looks like what they promised. And
now,
after
again,
seeing
Ramen Toys is not immune to selling something like their Centurions like figures. Their first releases did not impress.
Nope.
Right? Like they didn't look good.
Nope. And they reissued a head pack for those figures. And then they did another version of those figures of the 80s Commanders.
And it is more expensive. It is very expensive. But I believe it's a lower print run. But at least it looks the part.
Yeah. Yep. I'd rather spend $100 on something I know is going to turn up well, rather than $55 on something that is just a gamble.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying Ramen Toys. Yeah, exactly. Ramen has had issues as well. Like nobody's perfect, right? And so I'm not saying this is better I mean, just objectively on paper, like on print, it looks better, and but it is more expensive, and maybe has more QC issues, but Super 7 has as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, side by side, this Quicksilver, Super 7 Quicksilver from from New York. This is the better one, just by looks alone.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Don't want to harp on Super 7 too much with this, but I will say you have that, and then you have their ThunderCats reveals, and I think they look pretty damn good. And this is the frustration of Super 7 in general, right?
Yeah.
Is you've got Ritaro, Willa, Mongor, as well as Snarf. And they look fantastic. It is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're all expensive, though. But yeah. John, thoughts on the Super 7 reveals for ThunderCats?
I'm not really familiar with who's the female that looks like she just looks like a warrior. Willa. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with her. But that Mongor, whew, man, that looks like Krampus's little brother. It looks amazing. Like, do a little put some tinsel around him, hang some jingle balls, and that's like Krampus's sidekick. Put that next to your Four Horsemen Krampus figure, and I mean, but again, this figure looks like it was sculpted by the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
That's how good this looks. And we have now, granted, this is going to be I'm assuming that's just the prototype. This is like the printed and painted prototype. This is not, this was the reveal of the wave. So this is as far as they've gotten. So with that said, as long as this figure looks just like this, and I'm sure he will, because the turtle figures like Muckman and Mutagen Man, like the ones that look like they have like a lot of detail and a lot of textures, they all seem to come out close to what their the first Paint Master was. So as long as you're on point with this figure, same way, home run. I mean, this figure looks great. Granted, again, they are getting more expensive. They are pricey, but initially, Initially, they're pricey.
Secondary market cheaper. I mean, honestly, your strategy for these should be, and I hate to say, because I know this hurts Super 7, but wait till secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I don't have them in hand yet. I don't have all of Wave 6 in hand. I've gotten the Slash. In general, I do like the Slash. I don't know if he was worth his $55, but I'm glad I have him. But I've seen some pictures of Ace Duck, and that color, that brown, is off, and it looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not buying Ace Duck now. I'm gonna wait. All the rest of them. I'm gonna see if I can get for cheaper than retail price.
Yeah.
And again, like if I'm Brian Flynn, if I'm Super 7, if collectors are feeling this way, and again, you can draw it however you want to draw it, whatever reason you want to charge, how much you want to charge for it, so be it. But if you're gonna get the reputation of a bait and switch, or the thing you finally delivered doesn't match the price you're asking for, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yep.
And so I know Mike Fee, everything is pricey now, no doubt. But when this figure is gonna be 65, Ratara, I believe, is gonna be 65, and Snarf, Brian said at the con, $55 for Snarf, who looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I think Snarf looks great. And maybe they'll throw in, I think there's gonna be another tail or something like that along with the head. But I don't need 75 Snarf hands to make this worth $55, John. Like,
no. He really is just the two heads. I think that's all Snarf needs.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need the pouch. He doesn't need the Sword of Omens. I'm sure that little Sword of Omens comes with another figure. He just needs his two heads, and that's it. $30 and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Mausers.
Yeah.
You know, paying that kind of price. Okay, they were in a multi-pack, but that doesn't make me feel any better about $55 for Snarf.
No. I mean, I think the Snarf looks really good here. But $55 is too much. When turtles are selling for less than $45 on the secondary market, does this hold $55?
No. I mean, in the past month, I think it was Splinter, Ultimate Splinter was under $30. I think it was like $27 on Amazon, not like, a random seller. It was on Amazon for $27.
Yep. And so to me, and again, if this is what Super 7 has to do to break even or to keep their business running, then so be it. But if that's the case, I don't foresee a long future for Ultimates figures.
No. Nope. Maybe for the Ultimates figures that aren't going into a series. Like their music figures, for instance, where they do like one, like they do Ultimate King Diamond.
Yep.
And then that's it. Or, Ultimate Eddie from Iron Maiden. And then that's it. They're not going to do Eddie in every iteration or in wave after wave. It's just like a one and done, where Ultimates will I think Ultimates will always exist. But as like Ultimates, as far as like a Super 7 Ultimates ThunderCats, where there's going to be 10 more waves of 4 to 5 figures, I think it's going to be short-lived.
Yep. And again, I get it. They keep their operations in California. Again, San Diego, go Padres. I'm born and raised San Diego, and it's in my blood. But there's a reason I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, because the cost of living is much higher there. And if you're doing your operations there, and it means you have to have higher costs,
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, so I don't want to. I hate to harp on price here.
Don't quote me on this, but I think their like warehouse and where they ship all of their figures from is in Texas. Like so, like all anybody that gets figures wholesale or just orders direct from Super 7. So if like Entertainment Earth puts in their big order, it's not coming from California. I think it's coming from Texas now. And I think that movie was made like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So if that's, I don't know. Again, I don't run their company. This is what they've decided. So be it. But it's you're seeing an inflection point here. If John, if you have fingers on the pulse of the collector, this one feels it's tipping in the wrong direction for them. And again, we're both fans of Super 7 when they're hitting their marks, and they can do amazing stuff. But this one feels we're going too far in one direction versus the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
7 innings for Joe. I know Joe Musgrove, El Cajon native, through our no-hitter. And again, for me, I grew up working class in San Diego, so I lived in El Cajon as well. I lived in the outskirts of San Diego. So he is near and dear to a lot of our hearts. I do want to process it. Jay and Sean are just platonic dad friends. Sad face. I'm sorry to break your bubble there. But does anyone know if you can get a refund for Super 7 Ultimates pre-orders? I regret spending $500 plus on their Power Rangers with how they look. I don't know. And to be honest, that's why I've done BBTS or Entertainment Earth because there's a little more flexibility than just dropping the money up front. But John, do you know of any ways if you order it directly from Super 7 or pre-order it directly from Super 7?
If you order directly from Super 7, there's no cancels because for ordering from them, you're still locked under that made to order process. And that's it. Like I've seen people ask on Super 7th Instagram, like, can I cancel? And they get a direct answer like, no, like, sorry, your card's been charged. That's it.
Yeah.
Order from anywhere else, pre-order through Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store. I don't want to say it, but let them take the hit. Like if you cancel it.
Yeah.
Because they already pre-ordered. One of those companies have already put in their pre-orders since all the Ultimates are made to order. So if Big Bad orders, say 1,000, that's, just a number. If say they order 1,000 and then once they sell out or sell out of their own pre-orders, that's it. But they still allow you to cancel it. So I would definitely stick with them or wait for the secondary market and get them cheaper. Because there's so few Ultimates that have actually gone up in price.
Yep. I do want to plus in. Let me pull it back up here. Throwback Turtle says Super 7 refunded my Hook Mountain Lino when I got them cheaper on BBTS. Just email them. And he said the customer service has been really friendly. So,
well, maybe they take exceptions on some.
Yep, exactly. Change on are just platonic dad friends, as in a better business bureau client and possible lawsuit more likely. But good luck. Oh my god. So there you go. John, any other thoughts on these? There's a lot of reveals though from Super 7. They had a lot of prototypes there. Again, I hate to say it, but there is this element of like you need John, is this a bad take? Like, is it you need to wait to see what the final product looks like before you commit to purchasing with Super 7 at this point? Have they lost the faith of a toy collector to be like, sure, your renders, maybe your initial sculpts or whatever, they look great, but I need to wait to see it in hand or somebody's pictures in hand before I commit to dropping $55+ on one of your figures? Is it at that point now with Super 7? As I show some of these fantastic Nightmare Before Christmas figures.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, again, they're expensive, but
Mm-hmm.
think about another company like the Full Horsemen running Mythic Legions. They're on the higher end. I don't consider them as expensive as Super 7, and it's just I really think it's a smaller market.
Yeah.
There's a lot in the legion of Legions collectors,
Mm-hmm.
but you will see Full Horsemen, whether it's Corn Boy
Mm-hmm.
will post, we got the a master tooling figure back from the
Mm-hmm.
factory, and it's not up to our standards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be delayed 2 weeks. It's
Mm-hmm.
the tooling. We're literally having the factory change the tooling.
Yep.
So a company like that, who really isn't that much different than Super 7 outside of doing their own licenses, they're not licensing other properties,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a store, but they're still like a small market.
Yep.
I think they actually put a little bit more work in to make sure you get what you paid for,
Mm-hmm.
and get what we sold you.
Yep. Yeah.
But, you know, I think again, Super 7, I think they're just taking on way too much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, friend of the channel, Matt had a review, says it well. Super 7 is now the wait and see company.
Mhm.
And again, that's not to say they can't be, Super 7 needs to be judged harshly, but like when you're inconsistent with your releases in terms of what you deliver, it then becomes that for collectors. And then you're okay as a collector taking the risk and saying, I'd rather pay a premium for a really good figure than pay too much for an underwhelming release.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
And that's what it is. And again, I wish nothing but success to Super 7. Honestly. And again, I hope whatever we say or maybe if they're seeing in the chat, it's not just us, they can see that, we love it when they hit their mark.
Mhm.
But when you're inconsistent, the results may not be what you want them to be, Super 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, out of the 16 TMNT Ultimates that I have now, I would say probably, I don't know, 12 of them, 12 figures out of the 16 I'm happy with.
Yep.
But then there's the others that are loose joints, the color is off or too shiny or whatever. But I think with those, the loose joints are the worst problem.
Agreed. And again, I think at least for me, this comes from a place of honest to goodness. I want you to succeed. I think for you too, John. Right? Like we have loved some of the Super 7 releases.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think Comics says this well here. I really love their TMNT figures and their ThunderCats mutants. Their cats have been very underwhelming, but they're failing hard in my opinion. I want them to get their act together.
Yep.
And again, I'm sure maybe some Super 7 employees are watching this right now and be like, screw you, we're like blah blah blah. I'm sure there's a million reasons why
we work 100 hours a week over here.
Yep. So I that's fine. You can say I hate you, Jay and John. That's fine.
But I was just looking at when they had the Masters of the Universe, and they were still doing classics after Mattel, and those figures are awesome. They're some of my favorite classics figures.
Yep.
But at that point, they didn't have so much work to do.
Yep. And again, I don't know their business model, but to me, and this may not be feasible, so that's fine. But I'd rather make a few lines great than a bunch of lines mediocre or hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't work for their business model, then fine, so be it. But I do think that is something to be aware of. NECA, a lot of similar stuff to what we've seen already. A lot of turtles, A lot of the same gargoyles. I think in terms of new, at least I hadn't seen this figure here. Let me pull it up here. There we go. Is it Zarak? I believe it's Zarak. Have we seen Zarak yet? Either way, is this a new look?
No, he was at San Diego.
Was he? Okay, then I totally missed it.
But I mean, he looks awesome. But
and again, I'm not NECA has their QC issues. I have bailed out of the Gargoyles line because of issues with their wings.
Yep. But again, because he's going to be half the size of Warduke and Grimsword, is he going to be half the price, or is he still going to be what, they're up to like $38 a piece now? Is he going to be that high, or is he going to be I'd love to know.
But I will say, at least with the Gargoyles line, the smaller figures, they've kind of packed in those draped wings, you know, like with Bronx.
Yep.
So, you know, maybe they'll do something similar. But I will say, you know, so maybe they'll do something similar here. I hope. There was a little placard there for Strongheart. And it's kind of weird, like these NECA Dungeons and Dragons figures are like taking the LJN figures and making them ultimate, right? You and I think both pre-ordered Warduke and Grimsword. We're supposed to deliver at some point this quarter. We're in Q4 2022 right now.
Yep.
And then the Zarak and Strongheart are going to be Q1 2023. So presumably soon we'll have Warduke and Grimsword. We have been drooling over these figures since last year.
The day they were announced, we did a midday show.
We did.
Just talk about them.
And you know, historically, one of the seminal moments of this show was the debate. We were prepping for that debate on that Sunday. We did a live stream the 2 days before to talk about these two figures. You know? So, you know, I think we're at 10 more likes to 300. Is that what it is? So drop that like button right now. We have over 500 people watching right now. So if you are able, hit the like button. But these Dungeons and Dragons figures, I'm so pumped. I can't wait to get these figures in my hand.
Yeah. I can't wait for Alf too. Alpha's a little bit longer waiting in the wings.
I will say the sex bots are getting more advanced. Look at this. Are you a fan of John and Jay? At least they're reading the description now, John. But I'm sorry, you're going to be blocked.
You just got to come out with a different name.
Or at least they read the description like, hey, this host are Jay and John. Come buy our sex bots. Toy Galaxy, hashtag Warduke watch. Indeed. I can't wait to get my hands on it. John, have you gotten your Headless Horseman from Four Horsemen yet?
I haven't.
You haven't? I haven't got a shipper yet either.
No.
I know. Toy Galaxy Dan has. I know a lot of our friends in our Discord, the Patreon Discord, have gotten it. And I'm just sitting here like refreshing my emails, like, come on.
Yeah, I'm curious because I read some people that got no notification that it shipped. It just showed up. So I'm curious how many people got theirs without any heads up. And now tomorrow's a holiday, so we'll have to wait an extra day.
Yep. Yeah. I actually have a rare day off from work, Indigenous Peoples Day. Tomorrow we are off, so I'm going to enjoy the hell out of Indigenous Peoples Day. But apparently we have hit 300. 60 Padres. There we go. That's what I like to hear in the 8th inning. So we have unlocked the 40th anniversary Masters of the Universe He-Man. So that is up for grabs tonight.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm just like, I keep seeing people get theirs. I'm just like, I know I ordered it, but John, have you done this? I keep checking like my credit card statements and my emails to make sure I did order this, right? I ordered it. I definitely
I did that this week because I paid I think I paid through PayPal.
Yeah.
So I went and I just checked my emails, and I'm like, I did get a verification that I paid, right? And then I checked my bank statement, and I'm like, all right, I'm paid for.
But John,
I
any reveals here from NECA this week? Bring an eye to you.
I mean, I'm not doing the Toon Turtles. The line looks fantastic, all
It's
lined up
incredible.
like that. I
Yeah.
mean, still not going to get into it. I think the one thing that I'm surprised we didn't see, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's in there and I haven't noticed it, but anything from Prey.
Oh, good point. Prey is John. You were just like, you need to see it, and you watch it. I've watched it three times now.
Mm-hmm.
It is pitch perfect. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic, but Prey is amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
An hour and 40 minutes, just like an 80s movie. Like, just I recently went and saw Ghostbusters with my younger son Alex because he loves Ghostbusters. He was playing at Alamo Drafthouse. We watched it, and I was just like, the hour and 45-minute movie is a lost art form.
Yeah.
And Prey is that just. There's no fat. It is just such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 100% right, John. Like, where's our Prey figures?
Yeah. That's what it's so hot right now. And we know that, NECA's in the know with all the Predator stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I was honestly expecting them to have something lined up, even if it wasn't painted, but the Predator and Naru. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping for. Really, I'd like the 2-pack. I don't want to It would be better to get a 2-pack with some sort of display.
Yeah.
I don't want to. No spoilers for anybody who's still waiting. But
if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Even do like a free trial for Hulu or something.
Mm-hmm.
We're a cheap penny pinching family, so we do the commercial version of Hulu.
Oh yeah.
And so there's cheaper ways to do it, and Prey, Prey, is just so good. It is a breath of fresh air. And you could critique the CGI a little bit, but it was a relatively low budget film. But god dang, it was a great film. And great for Indigenous Peoples Day. As an Italian, Columbus, it's not a great dude, but for Prey, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Is that commercials? What am I, a plebeian? Again, at least in the GDL household, we go the commercial package. Gotta have those extra dirlers for toys. Anyway, okay, John. Any other thoughts here on NECA? This Casey Jones is my favorite, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not a big fan of horror, and while I have really liked some of the Universal Monster figures, this Casey Jones is too ugly for me.
Yeah, it's
too scary. It's too
scary. If that figure wasn't next to the turtles right there, if you didn't know, right, that was Casey Jones. If that figure, you just saw it on somebody's shelf, you're just like, oh, that looks like anything, really anything.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, the turtles are obvious. Splinter is obvious. Even April's obvious. Casey, that's the lost one.
Yeah, this just doesn't feel like Casey Jones. It looks too much like Phantom of the Opera, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, it is what it is. Columbus was how many icons? I haven't, but Columbus didn't think he discovered one either, in all fairness.
It does look like the guy from Slipknot.
It does. It's too, again, I'm not a horror guy though, John. I know you're a horror guy, so I'll lean on your perspective here. But it just doesn't. Maybe you're right. It just doesn't look enough like Casey Jones. But if you like it, cool.
It's they see. I don't know what else they could have done since he is the Phantom of the Opera. Like, there's only so much you can do with a human person being the Phantom of the Opera outside of just putting the mask on and putting his shin pads on.
Sure.
But yeah, now it's Mick, I think. Does Mick have that? I think it's Mick.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think it's Mick from Slipknot that has that mask. And that's all I can see now. This is like the this is like Joan Rivers all over again.
I do want to give a shout out to the Fwoosh in their live stream. They mentioned how I called it Joan Rivers. So again, I apologize to anyone that I called a girl Joan Rivers. I didn't mean to make it a thing.
You ruined it for everybody.
I did. I'm so sorry. Like that weighs heavy on my heart.
If anybody hasn't watched Mad Hatter's The Real Casey music video, do yourself a favor and go check that out.
Hatter's been on point since he became a Geek Dad, officially in the Geek Dad Life crew. If you haven't subscribed to Mad Hatter, just do it. Okay, he's almost at 10,000. Give him some love, please. I mean, I called it Joan Rivers. Oh, if you did it lifelong, I'll give it to you, my friend. Ooh, now I want NECA Slipknot Ultimates. We're pretty close. I guess 40 likes from 400. Okay, Grizzlord didn't do it for you, but I guess the San Diego Comic-Con is what exactly Mad Hatter. He has dad powers now, boys. And yes, can we get Mad Hatter to 10,000? Okay, out of our friends, the Toy Tuber friends, Mega J just hit. I mean, he's well over 10,000 now. We're so close with Mad Hatter. If you haven't given Mad Hatter a sub, even if you watch him, you haven't subbed him yet, give him the sub, please. Hatter to man, agreed, Walter Van Winkle. All right, John. Our friends over at Mondo on their Instagram or other socials dropped a little tease.
The big tease.
Oh my god dang big tease. That in 2 weeks, what presumably will be a 2-day window for a very, I assume at least $400 something. The Mondo Battle Cat will go up for pre-order within the same window as the Mattel Creations Eternia backer, whatever. MOTU collectors. I feel for you. I don't know what to say. John, make sense of this. I can't. I have already paid for the He-Man. I really wanted the Battle Cat.
That's how they get you.
Tough decisions will be made for Masters collectors. John, talk some sense into us.
I can't. Are you kidding me? I mean, okay, so Eternia. Oh, all right, first, what's your guess for Battle Cat? It's going to be $400 to $500.
Yep. I mean, have they said? A lot of people are saying maybe has the price been announced? $500, $499.99.
I haven't seen a price yet. Are those just guesses?
Maybe.
I didn't think that they were announcing a price until the day of. But regardless, 12 like with shipping and everything, it's like a $1,200 week or 2 weeks on Masters just on two things.
Well, the He-Man, all of the recent He-Man Mondo figures have been like $275, right?
Yeah.
These deluxe figures.
I think, that Ultimate He-Man one was, I don't even remember. It was more than $250, I think.
Yeah. Hold on, I missed the chat here. Hold on. Yeah, make it make sense.
Okay. So if you have to choose between one or the other, right? I think you're going to want to choose Eternia. Only because, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the secondary market on both of these things, I do think Eternia will have a greater
ROI, return on investment.
Yes. Battlecat will be cheaper. It'll be cheaper to ship. Eternia, it's going to be like if you're going to plan on buying Eternia on the secondary market, regardless of where you are, you're going to add another $200 minimum on shipping. Because look what sellers are charging to ship a Classics Grayskull or Snake Mountain. The box for Eternia is going to be massive.
Yep.
It's probably going to be better if you're going to have to look for something on a secondary market.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be looking at Battlecat. It's going to be the cheaper way to go. If you can't swing both this month. Hey, listen, Cobweb. I'm toying with the idea of buying 2 Eternias. I am.
There's a lot of people saying my girlfriend, my wife, spouse, significant other is watching. We need to make getting both make sense. Help.
If you can afford both, get them. They will be. If you can afford both, they'll never be cheaper than they are this month. Ever. That'll be the best time to get it.
And my wife is watching right now. She's supposed to be bringing home a win for the Padres. Maybe she's doing double duty right now. What are we buying for $1,000?
Nothing. It's going to cost more than $1,000.
just focus on the game, honey. And I love my wife, Colleen. She's a diehard Yankees fan, and I don't want to say bless her heart because that's usually kind of in
the South. That's
mean in the South.
A slam.
But I'm so thankful she has made her NL team the Padres, and she just as much, pins and needles with me. Maybe not as much as me with my team, but that's a good wife right there. Colleen, no, I only have one original Eternia. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. GDL's in trouble too late. Listen, I'm pulling for the Mariners too. I love the Mariners team. A lot of Padres on that team too. Ty France. I love Ty France. Eternia is better because it's nice paper. Mad Hatter. You can sleep in the box at least with the Eternia.
You'll be able to turn that box into a playhouse for the little one.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta say, my kids, I've tried to not be Will Ferrell from the Lego movie. I try to do my best. So if they like something, they can play with it as long as it's not brittle. Eternia is too brittle. And I do look forward to them, like us being able to play with this new Eternia. I do look forward to that.
And so you can play with it too. Because it's even too brittle for you.
It is. It sits here. It sits here. It sits there and that's it. I even took off the monorail. I had it on there for a while, the car, because if you leave the little wheel sitting too long, it starts to flatten out the little rubber wheel of the monorail car, the vintage one.
On the motor itself.
The motor itself, yeah. So I had to no, I'm taking that off. So anyway, having a fresh one that you can actually play with is going to be huge. Yeah, exactly. I have to rebrand the channel. Broke Dad Life. But it's just Mondo. Oh, they have to know. And I get it. It's Q4 4, you got to make your money now to close out the year. I understand that. But couldn't you have waited till after Eternia?
I know. Can't they just wait until next year? Like, they've made their money this year. It's okay.
They're bought by Funko now, right? Like Funko's were like, show me the money.
Mm-hmm. That's just it. That is just it. But on the other hand, that is what's going to keep this stuff coming.
Yeah. Yep. Cave Barbarian Media, $5 super chat. Thank you. Hello. Toy collecting has become feasible only for the rich and those with massive credit card limits. I'm glad I'm not 20 anymore. Thoughts on this? Like, there's a certain point for a lot of us. I think the same is true for you and I, John. It's just like, and maybe people feel like we buy everything, but there is a limit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay within a budget. You can't just buy everything.
Yeah. Like, they said, I'm glad I'm not 20 anymore. And I remember looking at things when I was 20 from Sideshow, because at that point, Sideshow was around making 6 scale figures. It wasn't Hot Toys yet, but they were still like $150. And like, I would look at those and say, I don't think I'll ever have that stuff. But then, time goes on, do a little better, and you can dabble in it, but it's not like, I have 2 Mondo figures right now. That's it. It's not like I have an army of Mondo figures, but you do need to figure out like where your collection is going to veer,
Yeah.
When you see, I think there's a lot of like, a lot of us that hang out on Instagram looking at collections, and then we see those giant collections of Hot Toys, and it's all like incredibly displayed. But you kind of look at the house behind it and you're like, oh, well, they're obviously doing pretty well for themselves. But that might be a collection that is amassed over 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight.
Yep.
But you don't see like cases full of, figures that are like between $5 and $20. Like, choose your quantity over quality, or quality over quantity. Like, you need to pick whichever way you're going to do. And if you want to do quantity, you are able to like, trickle in a few nice Hot Toys figures or any high dollar pieces or statues or whatever over the course of a couple of years. But yeah, don't I would say don't outspend your means. Just because it's just a toy. It's just a thing. It can't pay you back, just by sitting there.
Yep. 100%. Like it's similar to there's an adage that I just in terms of just I'm not good with money. I'm not good with money. I rarely. I'm so thankful I have Colleen as my wife, who is good with money. Otherwise, I would be broke on the street. But there is there's one adage where you can't eat your house, right? And it's same with toys. You can't eat your toys. You can't live off of these things unless you kind of have a in and out, if you're buying and selling and money's coming in, money's going out, and you kind of break even kind of deal, or you have side hustles, or whatever, however you make it work is so be it. But always remember, you can't eat your toys. And I guess we're only 3 to go on 400.
Oh, everybody wants that San Diego set.
And we're 3 outs away from advancing to get our butts kicked by the Dodgers.
3 outs away and 3 likes away?
3 outs away, 3 likes away.
I mean, it's going to happen.
2. There you go. Yeah, I'll eat Merman's corn cobs. So always remember that. As a collector, always remember that with toys. Unless, again, but I like your idea, John, of like me getting 2 Eternias and flip one and then pay. You can play that game, which is generally, Colleen can attest, how I've kind of played the game of just like sell things, buy things. Maybe I break even. Maybe not so much, but at least I think there's ins and outs.
But sometimes, I mean, you got to hope that if you're not going to break even on something, if you take a loss on one thing, you might do really well on something else to at least stay above water.
407 Art. We hit 400 likes. All right, y'all. At the end of this episode, we're raffling off to anybody in the chat the 40th anniversary SDCC set. You did it. You did it.
That's all it took. Grizzlor couldn't get it done, but He-Man and Skeletor could.
Cindy, okay, for any Dodgers fan chat, I apologize if I offended you, but there's a saying in this household that will be expressed in After Dark, but it's F the Dodgers. But you guys have owned us this year, and I will totally acknowledge that. So you'll probably, if we do advance, you'll probably own us again. That's fine. Anyway, I have, if you did BTG, I traded my Optimus Prime for a Razor Crest. So there you go. Okay, we hit over 400. John, let's talk Eternia. Right? I feel like this segues really well into Eternia.
Yep.
Because we did a stream. I'm gonna hold off on that for a second because I'm gonna talk some numbers. Thanks to Rabid Wookie Chris from our Discord. If he's in the chat right now, please make yourself known. He did some math. He is a financial advisor. And generally somebody that I do respect his sense of economics. And he was able to dig out some numbers on this Eternia playset. Because, let me pull it up here on Mattel Creations. But John, I'm kind of shocked because we talked about it on Tuesday, right? When the news first leaked. That we felt like the 550, while it was not cheap, was about right. Like it wasn't like the Haslab Ghost Rider car where it's like, that's a stretch. Maybe if you get 6 extra figures, maybe a break even. But if there's nothing added, you're probably not making much. But 550 for Eternia with a 5,000 backer limit feels like a break even. But after that point, there's been this sentiment among the collector community, both on YouTube and outside of it, is like 550 is too much. It's way too much. This is egregious. This is overextending. This is an overreach by Mattel. They're getting bad habits from Hasbro, etc., etc., etc. Or you're a fool if you back this or support this kind of crap. So whatever that reasoning is, that is a sentiment, an undercurrent that has overflowed from the Ghost Rider Haslab to this Eternia set at $550 with a $5,000 backer limit. And we're still 2 days away from this backing. John, before I go into the numbers here, any thoughts since we did a stream on this already on Tuesday? Have they changed at all or wavered at all in terms of your desire to back this?
No, they haven't. I still think it's in the ballpark of a good price. I will say that a lot of that is definitely my own personal bias because I want it so bad. Like my judgment is thrown out the window for this of what is reasonable.
Being impartial.
Yes. But with so like in modern toy buying, the only real good comparisons we have is other things done on Haslab or the Super 7 Snake Mountain. That's like the biggest things that have been out within the past 5 years.
Yeah.
All crowdsourced, most of them, big items, like big footprint.
Yep.
And all those other, like all that stuff, it's like in a price range, this is probably the average. Whereas like the Super 7 Snake Mountain was like $700. And then a bunch of the Haslabs were under that. So I feel like this is like an average price of a crowdfunded big footprint piece that wouldn't be at retail.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm still in the same mindset for this right here.
Yeah, same for me. Jason Nettage, the toy community is an uproar that only happens on days that end in Y. P.S. Think you missed my. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jason. If I missed your last super chat, my friend. I apologize. I will try to. Hopefully, it wasn't too long ago. I will go back. Oh, here we go. Just get both. You only need one candy suit on super chat. Sorry about that, Jason. But yeah, I'm steadfast in my support of this.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, there's more to come on Tuesday. Can't say anything more than that, but there is more to come on Tuesday. John and I are not inner circle. In fact, weren't even invited to maybe festivities that'll happen on Tuesday, which is fine. But there is more to come on Tuesday, even beyond just this set. And so that's one bit. I do believe in terms of whatever, we'll see more on Tuesday. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm. But
let's look at based on the facts that are public and real and available right now. And again, I'm calling out Rabbit Wookie, aka Chris, who's on our Discord. He may be in the chat right now. But I'm gonna present a view here on this. Hopefully you all can see it. I'm going a little work mode right now. That's what I do for my job. So the original Eternia playset, John, in 1986, and this is, you can Google search this information. I am not pulling these numbers out of my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Padres win. There we go.
Congratulations.
We did it. Hold on. My wife is calling me. Hello, Colleen. You're live on air.
That's fine. The Padres win.
Woo! There we go, baby. All right. Love you guys. Love you.
Okay, we love you. Bye. Woohoo!
Again, thank you for that little break there. So $40,000 to break even on this set. And you know what, Sal? Dodgers have owned us this year. So very well might beat us in 3. So if you're a Dodger fan, I'm not going to argue with you. You guys have been amazing this year. So 40,000. So the original production of this set was to break even on production, like to sell enough to where they didn't lose money.
Mm-hmm.
Their MOQ, so their minimum order quantity from retailers, was 40,000 Eternia sets in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
That is it. If there was 40,000 out there, we'd all have one right now. We'd all have a vintage one.
Mm-hmm. Matt, if you're a Mets fan, I'm so sorry. I feel like Padres are very much a Mets equivalent, like so much disappointment and everything. So for any Mets fans, I have nothing against the Mets. I love, the only team I don't like is the Dodgers. And even if you're a Dodger fan, whatever, it's okay. I don't hate you. But wow, just wow, we're trying to slow the stream. So hard, probably be my Mets. Hashtag unsubscribe. $10 super chat. Thank you, Matt. So they had a target of 60,000 sales for the original Eternia playset.
Mm-hmm.
But from 86, in 86, they made $400 million on the MOTU line for Mattel. In 87, it dropped to 7 million. And so they kept slashing the production, and they end up only producing 4,000 1,000 Eternias. With an MSRP of $140, it was a $70 wholesale cost to retailers. And retailers did clearance it because MOTU just died in 87 from to $80 to $90. But wholesale was $70, MSRP at $140. So Mattel's cost in 1986 when they were producing was $2.8 million. Adjust that for inflation at $7.3 million. Was Mattel's sunk costs on the Eternia.
Yeah.
They lost money. They lost money hands over fists. Right?
Big time.
And yeah, 90, not 140. Exactly. So it clearance. But again, that doesn't, whatever retailers sell it for is what it is. But they lost a crap ton of money on this. So new Eternia's MOQ is 5,000, right? That is their minimum order to actually activate this thing as a crowd fund.
Yep.
So at $550, and we found that $50 shipping, it's only like $7 more. In the US, I know it's a lot more outside the US, but we're saying for where it's going to be distributed from, which is the US. And again, people are saying, again, the original MSRP was $140. They clearanced it at $90, $80. But so if you do it at $550 at 5,000, that's $2.75 million. So when you adjust for inflation, Mattel's original costs in 86, 7.3 versus 2.75. So that factors in your efficiencies with production, all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
So then we do the math of an 82. The Grayskull is $20. It's 1/7 at 140 cost. 2020 Origins Grayskull 80 times 7 is 560. So Mattel cost is 2.8 million adjusted for inflation. Did I do it again? Where's the last slide? Let me go ahead. Oh, that's it. Okay. So I wanted to show this math because at the end of the day, if you don't want to spend $550, that's fine. But to say it is undervalued or a bad buy, I just don't buy that personally. I don't buy it because the math doesn't back that up, and math doesn't lie. Right, John? That's my
no. It's. I mean, you're right. If you think that it's too expensive, it's. I mean, it just isn't. If you want it, that's how much it's going to cost.
Yep.
That's it at the end of the day.
Yep.
I know a lot of people say, well, why can't it make it at retail? Because it happened to Mattel in 1987. They lost their butts at retail. They're a business. They're not going to let that happen again. They can't let that happen because that's how the line died. And the line is doing well for itself. That's why they're even offering this. This is the only way we're going to get it.
Yep. So again, I know some people will slide on the other side of this. I'm not trying to fight anybody on this. I'm not trying to cause controversy on any of this. And if you feel like the math is wrong, then so be it. But this is Googleable stuff. Just Google search it.
Yep.
This is available information. And sometimes that math doesn't add up, but in this sense, if you're doing the whole comparing it to the original game, I think it matches pretty well. And again, it is too big to make it at retail because the Origins Grayskull, as much as we love it, clearanced at retail. It did not succeed at retail. For better or worse. Maybe it did for Mattel. They sold enough of them.
Well, it's hard to compare clearance because
yes,
I mean, any store like Target or Walmart or whatever that clearances it, they've already purchased it at the price that Mattel sold it to them for. It's not like Mattel ships them to them and then they wait to get paid as they sell. No, the retailer has already paid for them at the wholesale price. And then now the retailer takes the hit and takes the loss, which means they don't want to order more next time, regardless of the product. But if it's the series, they don't want to order more. So it's hard to compare clearance prices of anything.
It's apples to oranges. Like there was a few comments on the video, and people were trying to say, like, well, XYZ thing is this much, and this is not. This is more than. It's like and people were arguing they've never even seen an original Eternia in person before, let alone this one that showed at Comic-Con. For those of us that saw it in person, this thing is gigantic. People were trying to compare the Dreadnought or whatever, that big dinosaur, that 5-foot dinosaur. Half of that is like a really long, thin tail, like it's not the same. And again, if you want to say $550 is too much for you to spend, or you don't believe in crowdfund models or whatever it is, so be it. More power to you, right? We've said on this channel before, vote with your dollar. If you don't think it's worth it, don't buy it. Don't back it. But to say XYZ, it's not equating to, or it's overpriced. It's not overpriced. It's just not. No.
And when we first started this show, like I always said, I don't like crowdfunding. I didn't like crowdfunding. I still don't really like it. But if you want it, you have to come to the realization that this is the only way you're going to get it. And if these companies don't do crowdfunding, that's how they're going to do these projects. Well, but take a look at your toy aisles. They're pitiful compared to what they were even 15 years ago. Where we have to have collector sections now in stores. That's separate than the actual boys and girls aisles. We have a collector section. And we're lucky we have that, because at the aisles that most of us buy stuff out of, classifieds, Transformers, Masters, all this stuff, it's dwindling. It's slowly shrinking down. And honestly, before we know it, if we want to keep collecting stuff, chances are there's going to be a time that we're going to be buying stuff online. All this stuff won't be in stores anymore. We have to face that. And then at that point, a lot of it probably is going to be crowdfunding. Everything's going to be pre-orders or subscription models. This is what we have to face now. It is what it is.
And again, you don't have to agree with it. That's fine. But XYZ company doesn't want to take a loss. And even in Mattel, clearly they took a huge loss on the original Eternia playset. And you could very easily see, while the MOTU team might be like, we've done all, we're very reasonable, XYZ, like it's been a successful line. But like the people that write the checks or approve the spend, I mean, like, wait, wasn't this the thing that we took a bath in 30 years ago, 40 years ago? No. And they're like, well, what if we did a crowdfund and it's like, fine, if you can prove this thing won't lose money, go for it. And so I that's where I put this thing. Right, Michael Traverso, $5 super chat. Here's the math. Canceled all my Super 7 Silverhawks. Now my wallet says Eternia. Sure. That's found money, right, John? Cave Berry and Media worth every penny of $550. Getting 2, could get 6. Still save money off a clean vintage. I won't comment on the last part of that chat there, my friend, because I don't want to get into arguing. I don't want to get into fighting. But I whatever that is, and yes, agreed. Crackpot Sports, our Padres won. We did. That's my father, by the way. He has his own YouTube channel, Crackpot Sports. Give it a follow and a subscribe if you can, if you like sports. So yeah, let's talk about it, John. Any chance this doesn't get enough backers? I feel like 5,000 is a reasonable amount. And honestly, who knows how they present this on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
John and I have a little bit of inside baseball, not a lot, because again, we're kind of out of the inner circle. But John, I if the hype machine plays this right on Tuesday, this thing could be well on its way. What do you think, John?
Yeah. If all is if everything pans out, I think that this could fund at 5,000 within the first, I'm going to say within the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel that strong about this. There's a lot of people, you know, like we think about this, you know, or I think about this as like, all right, 5,000 people. We need 5,000 people. In my head, I'm like, is there 5,000 people in the US that want this?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I can't think past the scope of that, you know,
Yeah.
because the international prices are so expensive. But I do think that there could be 1,000 international buyers and 4,000 people in the US. You know, I think between everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to happen in the first 2 days.
2 days.
Yep. Only because, I mean, look what happened in, you know, with a couple of the Haslab projects. Because it's not, you don't have to, it's not getting taken from your account. So I feel like people just want to lock it in
Mm-hmm.
and then think about it.
Yep.
And with the announcements, I think people will, you know, they'll get the itchy trigger finger to just back it and then think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, that's what with, you know, we're watching it with the engine of the Hell Charger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that thing is losing backers every day. But I don't think this will lose backers. I think, you know, people are going to get very excited for everything that's coming. It's just going to feed it even more. Yeah. First 2 days backed.
I'm seeing this update here. Alpha Magnus member for 3 months. I think we're getting to the 3-month mark for the members of the GDL family. So Alpha Magnus, congrats on 3 members of 3 months of being with the GDL family.
I got family.
You got family, my friend. And to all of our GDL members, we love you all. I think we crossed 100 the other day, so or last time. So congrats to all of our. So you're saying adding an underboob Tila to boost backer? Brian Brink sent a chart for the Haslab. We're gonna check that in a second. I asked the chat whether or not Gotham Soccer. So I think a lot of us, the original members, Gotham Soccer member for 3 months, Dartherian member for 3 months. For all the people that join the GDL family, you made it 3 months. So I think you'll go to the 3 little thing next to your name.
Oh,
sold on
nice.
Underboob Tila. So with 122 votes in, based on this chat right now, 79% think it will back within the first week.
That's good numbers. Hopefully all those people will be backing in the first week.
John, this drops on Tuesday. Final answer. Are you day one backing this thing?
Oh, day one, minute one. You kidding me? Immediately. I just want to get it in there. I'm so excited.
Toy Art and Cobweb also to anybody. I may have missed it because it doesn't show it on the StreamYard chat, but I just opened it up to do this poll. So with 3-month GDL family members, thank you. Yeah, same here. I'm a day one backer, proud day one backer of this Eternia playset. This is the thing when Mattel Creations opened that we like the dream, the moonshot.
Yep.
For Mattel Creations. Is it expensive? Yes. But a vintage Eternia, $3,000 complete. This one has all the same features, looks just as good, if not better, has more features for $550. If you have ever wanted this holy grail playset, this is your chance for $550. And John and I do not get checks from Mattel. We are not shills. We have said Mattel is overpriced, or their lawyers are over handsy in terms of their copyright strikes. And that's probably why we're not invited to special events, and that's fine. So
we're already on the do not invite list.
Which is fine. We'll own it. But as collectors, we're happy about this $550. Michael Traverso, $4.99 super chat. I think this will fund quickly too, and I think we'll get extra figures. But I also thought the Mets would win. Michael Traverso. So there you go. 500. It drops on Tuesday. ANC lawyer. So we'll see. Do they pull the money mainly from your account or when it ships? Great question. From what I've seen in the FYI or the FAQ, the facts. Apparently they do a what is it? A pre-charge or a temporary?
Yeah, they'll pre-charge your card with the amount just to make sure it's a legit card, and then they'll charge it and send it back.
Yeah.
And then the day that the campaign ends is the day that you actually get charged.
Yep. Playtime. My wife just said I could get it. Y'all saw it, right? Someone screenshot it and sent it to me. Well, congratulations. Hold on. I got you a applause. That is the ultimate achievement.
Yep.
When our significant other says you can get it.
I got the go ahead pretty easily.
You did? That's pretty good. I don't know if I have, but luckily the Patreon and all that, there's a separate account now. I'm like, well, it's out of that thing.
What is it? Beg forgiveness later?
Yeah, exactly. Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Don't quote me on that. Jay said ask for forgiveness. Don't quote me. I'm not getting into relationship or marital disputes. Okay. It's a trap. This is a great question. I have an original. I'm at a loss to be. I feel like I'm losing money on this deal in a sense. I'll be completely honest. I bought this Eternia playset in a collection of a lot of MOTU stuff for $600 in 2014. That's what I spent. $600 with the complete Eternia playset, tons of figures, all the dinos, all of some rare, like tons, like again, that's what started me selling at toy shows. So that's what I'm into this vintage set here. But I assume the vintage stuff will take a hit, right, John?
Yeah. It's not like, I don't want to say like it's when something smaller gets a reissue, but because there's so many like strictly vintage collectors and this has such a low production number, there's still so few to go around. It'll definitely go down in price, but I really don't think it will drop below like 1,500. I don't think it's going to take that much of a hit.
Yeah. No, it's vintage. It's the original. There's no way you can, even a new one will beat it. But in full disclosure, I will keep my vintage one until I can do a side-by-side to the new one. But the vintage one I am selling to make room for the new one. That is how I'm going to approach this.
Yep.
I don't have enough room for two. That's insane. I don't have enough room for one, but we'll see how it works. Vintage will always be vintage. Agreed. Chris, this is great financial advice, but it's not great toy tuber advice in the sense that I need to be able to show to everybody here that watches and views videos on this channel to see a complete vintage Eternia next to this new Eternia to compare the two, right?
Yep.
And I don't have room to do side-by-side comparisons. We've talked about on the show. They will be maybe in my front street or something. There it is. Yeah. So there's, I don't know how I'm going to do side by side, but it will have to be outside.
Yeah, you might be the only one doing a comparison video.
Maybe. I'm sure there's somebody else out there that has them. I will say, as a fan of Pixel Dan, I don't know if he has a vintage Eternia handy, but I feel like Pixel Dan, especially for comparison time, should have one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 8-foot table chain. It's not even the table, it's the camera, like having enough depth to the camera to capture them both at the same time. Oh God. Exactly. I get just, again, as over a decade fan of Pixel Dan, like I gotta have a comparison time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mike V, I want in on the shilling business. Let me tell you, Mike V, John and I were not in, but even people that are accused of shilling, I don't think it's a great business. It's not a good business.
No.
Anyway, exact comparison time will be an aerial photo. Indeed, right?
You're gonna need a drone.
I need a drone. I need a drone shot. Oh my God. So anyways, I'm keeping my vintage one to do a side-by-side comparison. Hit the subscribe and the bell so you don't miss that video. I think we're close to 14,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you watch this, I think there's like 60,000 unique viewers a month on this channel. Something that's pushes 100,000. So only 14,000 of you have hit the subscribe button and the bell. So if you've watched, and I do it too, but if you watch it and you really enjoy it, hit the subscribe and the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any future videos. Okay. Let's, Patreon, just a fun. There ain't no expansion. Colleen won't let me in the expansion, which is fine. She lets me have this space. Let's talk about the Haslab, John. It's not doing great. Brian Brink sent in these charts. Just for quick frame of reference, the red line is the Hiss tank, which had the most successful early run, but didn't end up being the most successful of all time. Dark blue is Galactus. Relevant close numbers is this light blue line is the Sky Striker, which to me is like has been the equivalent to the Haslab Ghost Rider set.
Mm-hmm.
Engine of Vengeance. These three dotted lines represent where it needs to trend to hit different backers. So it needs the lowest line is to hit that 9,000, the minimum threshold to end up being produced. They dropped in that Madeline for 10,000 underneath the Mephisto at 12,000. And then so that's the second line. And the third line is the Mephisto at 12,000 backers. Its highest point was in that early bird range. It hit 6,118. It has dropped continuously since then. So much so that it is already trending behind being able to hit Mephisto at the end of this total run. It is even with the no under boob Mandolin Briar and is in danger of not even pacing with the 9,000 backer minimum. We're nearly at 25 days with 20 or so days left. They showed it in person at New York Comic Con. John, we've talked about it before with other sets. Is it time to hit the panic button now? You said no last week. Is it time now?
I'm still not going to call it. I'm
Okay.
going to give it another week.
You say 7 more days to see where it lands?
Yep, because the announcements this week, I think people are waiting. I think people want to know what's coming for MOTU, what's happening, and then they'll make their decisions. And then next week, hit the panic button because MOTU is going to kill it.
Right? People are saying, like, David Parch, that's what you call the Eternia effect, boys. This is companies in general. And John, you are so fortunate not to deal with corporate shenanigans. But anybody that works for a corporation that has to answer to shareholders knows Q4, you got to show me the money. Show me, like, end of the year on a strong note. And all of these big companies anyway are publicly traded. They need to show me the money. But at the end of the day, collectors only have so much money. And with Eternia dropping Q4, Mondo dropping their Battle Cat Q4, and this set that across the board does not feel like it meets that $350. While maybe I'll co-sign and say it's too early to hit the panic button, I feel like they got to be concerned it's not going to do it.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, do you think that the Hasbro guys, and I mean like the actual Marvel Legends team, not the upper management, do you think that they're that bothered by it not doing well? Because they I mean, they obviously they can't say it, but do you think that they would like knew right away? It's not like, it's not a legendary character. It's not, you know, it's very unfamiliar character for most people. We know that they're not going to buy it for $350. So they probably seen the writing on the wall before this even launched. So I mean, just waiting it out, like I don't want to speak for them, but they probably hit the panic button before this campaign even went live.
Yeah. That's fair. That's very fair. I don't know if they care. Like, I feel like they've, again, Hasbro's CEO has called their shot. They want to eke more profit out of collectors, right?
Yeah. Yep.
They've had a very pessimistic view of toy sales in 2022 and 2023, right?
Yep.
Mattel's taking a more positive outlook. Who knows which side is going to win, right, in that scenario. But this is what they've called. I don't think anyone should give Ryan Ting or Dan Yoon. I feel like they probably have orders from on high, and this is what they got to do, right? But that's, you know, and if it doesn't succeed, maybe that tells them you can't overcharge that much and expect it to succeed. Because it may very well be toast, as Rob.
Or if you are going to charge that much, it needs to be worth that much.
It's like, add no under boob announcement to chart. It drops up there. It's silly, but again, this is a Haslab. It's an adult collector item. I have female friends and male friends that say no underboob, no. There's not a good rhyme. I think maybe Chris in our Discord said no underboob, no Tony Shalhoub. Rhyme, but Kayla. So yeah, people need the underboob. Like, come on.
But do you think that they are forcing Haslabs?
Right.
Like, do you think that they're like, all right, we need a Marvel Legends Haslab. We need it.
Who knows? I don't want to go. I don't know inside baseball. Maybe Dan or somebody want to jump up. And they probably couldn't share, to be honest.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to pressure them, but
they wouldn't be going in tomorrow if they came on and said something like that.
Oh, here we go. Break something. No underboob, no love from YouTube. That's pretty good. Dartherian, no underboob, need less lube. Can't argue. We're not quite after dark yet. 80s experience. Am I wrong? Despite fund the Haslab. Hey, listen, if it doesn't back, you're not out any money. So I understand that.
Nope. But just remember, if it does,
you're
buying something you don't want.
Josh Ruth, no underboob, no funding, dude. Why is the X-Men character a tier? It's a good question. Good question. To me, it's like, okay, it's the devil character, so maybe they don't feel like it can be in retail or whatever, but so be it. No underboob, no oil change, no tire rotation, no value, no nothing. Oh, here, no underboob. They must be a noob. Brian Break, show the skin or no one's. Yeah, exactly. Her powers are demonic based. Exactly. I feel like there's that. I don't know. Remember when like Harry Potter, like people are just like up in arms about Harry Potter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. D&D all over again.
It's right. It's satanic panic to an extent. All right, John. I think it's time for Stump John, but I do want to plug in the giveaway since we're almost at 500. We're at 475.
Oof.
We're almost at 500 likes during the stream, which I think would be a record. So I'm going to drop in the chat now a link to win this set right here, this 40th anniversary set. So please put in your name, but it has to, so here's the rules. You need to put in the name that's on your YouTube handle.
Mm-hmm.
And only that. No double entries. And I will draw one of your names to win this SDCC 40th anniversary He-Man and Skeletor. I'm not even taking it out of the shipper. This is fresh from patron and friend of the channel, Matt Bush, to give away tonight. So if you want this set, I don't know. I haven't looked at the secondary market price, but I feel like it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there you go. Who cares about underboob? I want Ghost Rider bulge. That's fine. A good bulge is great.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe get the Hot Toys Robin. Robin. If you're looking for bulge, my friend.
You got bulge for days.
Bulge for days. All right. So I'm putting the hold on, make sure I copy this and put it in the chat. So put in your YouTube handle there. And you have to be here to call dibs on that when we raffle for it. So put your name in now. We've hit it. We're at 494. So this is an insane record for likes.
494.
We're 494. Real close to 500 likes while we stream. We've gotten over that after the fact, but because we can get 8,000, 10,000 views after the fact. But there's over 600 watching right now. Can we get to 500 while we go? But so ever put your name in now. Don't hesitate. Put your name in. All 603 of you are eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So
the set is crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome. So if you're in the US, I will cover shipping. If you're out of the US, I will ask that you cover shipping. That's my one caveat. Because this is free 99. So but anyway, we'll see. Thank you, Doc. We're growing. 501, we did it. 500 likes. I'll put in the link again. I'll put the link in again. Oh, Rob, thank you, Rob D Toys. Fantastic pictures out of New York Comic Con, my friend. Give again, nice. I said at the beginning of the show, give a follow on Instagram. So there you go. The growers, not showers, indeed. Coming again. All right, John, are you ready?
I am ready.
I don't want to put pressure on, but I gotta say, it's been hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
For Stump John.
It has. Not doing too good.
But that's all right. Because I feel like I've looked at these 3 accessories and I feel like you got a chance.
All right.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So, are you ready, my friend?
I am.
All right, here we go. It's that time again. It's time to test John and his knowledge of all things toy accessories. Yes, he is known as a master of all things action figure accessories, and we like to test him now on a segment we like to call Stump John. So everybody, everywhere, all around the world, it's time to do what? It's time to Stump That Show!
I don't have a Red Sox win giving me some luck.
So get out of here, Ralph. Stump that show. Get out of here. Get out of here. John, that stump. Stump it real good. Boom. Stump bots unite. Okay. Stump John is Jay Hotter. I'm not mint on card. I'll answer that question right now. I'm not. Okay. John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let me open these up. These sent in to us by frequent contributor Andrew Clark. Thank you for sending these in. And make sure I hide the others so you only see one at a time. John, I've seen these already. You should at least bat 666 the devil.
Okay.
Okay.
666. No.
I'm Babe Ruth in the 1932 World Series. I'm calling the shot. Here we go.
I'm ready. It's turtles.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to require you to guess the figure it goes with on this.
Okay.
Not a guess the line.
It's turtles. Is it a cave figure?
No.
It's not a cave figure. Okay. I have it confused with the Dr. L's staff, but that's green.
L's is green and has like a little skull on the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Let me think about it.
Okay. All right. Think about it a little bit.
What is that?
This one was the challenge of the three. I'm going to be honest. At least for me.
Is it a part to a vehicle or is it like an accessory?
It is. No, it's the two pegs make it seem like it's a part to something.
Is it like an exhaust stack? Like a smokestack or something like that would plug into? That's all I can think of. Is it upside down?
I would assume so. It's facing down. I assume it's like facing out on whatever the toy is.
Man, it looks like a smokestack for a figure, like a trailer truck or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go to the next one.
Okay, I'm worried now, John. Okay, I'm not gonna put too much pressure. You do you, boo boo. All right, this piece.
That's from that's She-Ra. Does that go to that? Does that go to why can't I think of the name of it? Crystal Castle?
It does. Crystal Palace. It is a piece of that. Okay. You've gotten one of the three.
Is that the trunk lid?
I believe so. Let me double check. Treasure chest top.
Okay.
So you're one out of three.
Man, that first one. It doesn't go to a cave figure.
No. I'll give you another hint. It goes to a figure that has been shown by Super 7.
It's been shown by Super 7. I can't think of anybody that. Not Scratch.
Nope. Same color as the accessories.
Yeah, he had yellow accessories. Who the heck else? I can't think of who Super 7 has shown. I don't know. I don't know.
Guess. Final guess, final answer.
Oh man. Shoot. I'm trying to think the upcoming waves. I can't think of anybody. I can't. You're just gonna have to tell me.
All right. It is TMNT Rockin' Roller Punker Don.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that they were even doing him.
Punker Don. It's weird, right? Because they have done all the other disguised turtles, but for Donatello, they did the Punker Don.
Yep. Completely forgot about him.
I thought you would have gotten that one easy. Okay. All right.
I should have.
Now your win or lose is on this accessory that you did not have too confident a feel for.
No, I don't know what that is. I think it looks like an exhaust stack. That's all I can think of. For something Transformers. But that's all I got.
Okay. According to Andrew, is a Rock Lord's Marbles weapon.
Really?
Yeah. Rock Lord's Marbles weapon.
They got some weird looking weapons. That doesn't look like a weapon.
Ramen Toys, makers of that very silvery Quicksilver figure.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
And did you see the 80s Commanders, the new weapon system for the Max Ray figure?
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
That it does. All right.
I did terrible.
You at least you got 1 out of 3, right? That's a Hall of Fame career.
Mm-hmm.
I
didn't get traded yet.
You didn't get traded yet. All right. It is now time to do our giveaways. So again, if you want the Grizzlor, it's going to one of our patrons. So it's $5. To be honest, don't get in it for this, but we do after show, which we're doing today. I'll talk about that in a second. But one of our patrons will win this Grizzlor. And then somebody that puts their name in their YouTube name, it has to be your YouTube name, and you have to be watching, giving away this 40th anniversary He-Man set to one of y'all. I'm going to put the link back in the chat. This is the last time I'm putting it in the chat. Okay? So get this link. There's nearly 600 people watching, so do this link now. It's your last chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm giving you enough warning. Put in your name. So
free shipping in the USA.
Free shipping in the USA. If you're out of the US, just cover the costs, please. And then if you're a patron, $5, you're going to get into this entry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Okay. So I just put the link back in, but first I got to do our patron giveaway. John, tell us why people should become a patron, because right after this show, we're doing our after show, which for me, I'm going to talk about my toy order backup. I am backed up on stuff, so I've got a lot of hauls tonight. So I'll be talking about that in our after show. But toy order backup will be our after show after this stream. But John, any reasons why you think people should do the Patreon?
Well, I mean, the giveaways. Mm-hmm. It's the After Dark show where it's a little bit more loose, a little bit more unhinged, gets a little risque. But not only
some people have backed out of being a patron because
our
after show is too blue.
Well, you don't have to watch it.
It's true, and they backed out because and totally fine if it's not for you. That's fine.
Yeah. But the Discord, if you if you enjoy the chat right now, if this is like, if you like participating in the chat, the Discord, this is all day, every day, where the community is just sharing everything from their latest hauls, toy news. You can talk about your pets. You can talk about their sports. There is the TVs and movies. It's like an old discussion board.
It is. It's great.
And it's a ton of fun. And everybody is awesome.
Yep. Agreed.
And it's only $5.
Only $5. Melissa J, $2 super chat. Thank you, Melissa. Say my name, acting kind of crazy. Listen, Melissa J, I just said your name. People have asked for workout fitness. We'll add the channel there. We just added a wrestling channel this past week on the Discord. So.
Ooh. That's why I get notifications of all this wrestling talk. I'm like, where's all this coming from?
All right. There's 188 patrons in this right now. You ready, John?
I am.
None of this first spin wins. Here we go. For a Grizzlor. Chicago Stormtroopers. Congratulations.
Very nice.
This win of not a pre-order to show up 10 years later. No, a true blue in-person Grizzlor can be sent to you, Chicago Stormtroopers, which I'm assuming is in the US, so we're good to go there. $2 super chat from Alpha Magnus, yeah. I have a booth at TFCon, Chicago. Anyone going? Maybe Chicago Stormtroopers will. All right. Let's see who put their names in our giveaway. Let's see. Let me check. 272 responses, John.
Wow.
Holy free holy.
With over 500 likes. And only 200 and change.
But almost 3. But if you think that's a lot, to be honest.
The wheel might break. That wheel is going to have a hard time.
The wheel might break. Now, remember, you have to have put in your YouTube name, and you have to be watching right now in order to win. Okay? So here we go. Look! I can't even see the damn names on this. Shit. All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
The wheel might break. I can't even see who the name is. James Lynn. Are you there? You got to say hello. You got to say hello in the chat right now. James Lynn.
You got to speak up.
Got to speak up, and your name has to be James Lynn in the chat. It can't be something else.
How long are we gonna give them?
Just a few minutes, or not a minute, seconds. James Lynn, where are you, my friend? That can't be you, Michael. It's gotta match to your YouTube name. Come on, James Lynn, show yourself.
I hope you didn't get up to go to the bathroom.
How's the chance, right? Rick something says, don't think he's here. Can't add him. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, no. No, no.
Notary.
I'm his notary. Woo. Uh-oh.
Oh,
there we go.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Lynn. Congratulations. Oh, that was scary. I was scared for a second. James, congratulations. You've won yourself a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 40th anniversary He-Man sets
Awesome.
Congratulations. I was getting close, Shane.
Yes.
It
We're
was
about to spin that wheel again.
Holy moly. A record for likes in one night, a record for submissions for a giveaway. And again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. A lot of fun, a lot of great discussion. Give us a like if you like this video. Hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any further ones. John and I will be hanging out in After Dark. Toy Order Backup sharing our latest toy hauls. My Padres won. Condolences to any Mets fan. I feel your pain. Trust me. And I'll probably feel the pain next week when the Dodgers kick our ass. But for right now, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. We'll see you all maybe Tuesday, depending on how awesome the reveals should be revealed. John and I will be here. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe and bell so you don't miss any of it. And you're a little late, 69 Mega. You're kind of at the end of the show. I'm sorry. Don't click on that. It's a scam. Take care, everybody. And until next time, hasta luego. And goodbye. Have a good evening, everyone.